Installing an agility chiller is a little bit different than installing other chillers. So we've created a number of videos for you to watch at key points during installation that should help make the process easier. It is imperative that you follow proper precautions and instructions in the Agility Disassembly and Reassembly Guide available at www.trane.com/agility. First things first, don't take anything apart that you don't have to. Agility is agile. If you do nothing else but split the unit in half left to right, agility can fit through a single door. In fact, the entire intact unit can fit through double doors. A couple other things to keep in mind. First, there is a comprehensive list of guides, charts, and tables at the back of the Agility Disassembly Reassembly Guide. Along with the tools recommended in the guide, we suggest having a couple lengths of 2-inch water pipe for the installation. They'll help realign the unit when you put it back together and can help provide extra protection against tipping. We also recommend having a rigging strap, a spreader bar, and at least 4 M16 D-rings on hand. Finally, if you have any questions, please contact your local TRANE service team or account manager. It's easiest to separate the unit into 2 parts before you do anything else. That way you can stand next to the unit rather than climbing on top of it. When you take apart the cross braces, make sure you match mark them. Check figures 7 and 8 of the Disassembly and Reassembly Guide for reference. This is the equivalent of doweling the unit. It's best to leave the center fasteners in place. In most cases, you don't actually need to remove them, and if you do take them out, it will take longer to re-level the unit to reassemble down the road. As we said earlier, you should only disconnect the things you need to disconnect. When it comes to electrical connections, we've made it really simple. The only thing you need to do is disconnect the global bus crossover cable shown in Figure 12 of the Disassembly and Reassembly Guide, and you're good to go. When you're disconnecting the conduit connections, it's important that you don't open the MBC cover, as it can lead to electrostatic discharge. Instead, locate the snap-together connectors on the back of the panel and take them apart. Check out Figure 22 in the Disassembly and Reassembly Guide for reference. To separate the primary subassemblies, just follow the directions in the Disassembly and Reassembly Guide and you should be good to go. Make sure to attach a rigging strap or chain to the spreader bar when you're moving the evaporator half, and attach a rigging strap or chain from an AFD lifting point to the spreader bar when moving the condenser half, like shown in Figure 27 of the guide. Here's a quick tip for removing the options panel. Remove the shear plate and rig the control panel and options panel as 2 separate boxes. Check out Figures 40 and 41 in the Disassembly and Reassembly Guide for reference. The most important thing is don't try and lift them together. We've already integrated lifting holes that accommodate M16 D-rings into both the options panel and the control panel box. It's easiest and a best practice that you do not take the elbow off the compressor. It's really just unnecessary. Figure 54 in your Disassembly and Reassembly Guide shows how to lower and block the compressor so that you don't damage the elbow. Either tape the shims together or bolt them on so you don't mix them up. We would advise you to remove the check valve before separating the unit into halves. This way the studs won't bind on the discharge pipe.